do it through, there we go, wait,
Yeah, it's doing it now.
okay.
Sorry about that, y'all.
I think you're just live streaming because you had it scheduled when you, this is different. Because what you're doing now, I think you're just live streaming, but that's okay. We'll go
Okay,
with live streaming. The way you when you have it set up, you have to go into YouTube itself and actually start the thing.
okay.
But let's just go from here because we got to go because I got a 3 o'clock.
Okay, I would like to acknowledge that we are on native land of the Hahamunga tribe of the Tongva Nation. If we can take a moment of silence, please. Okay, thank you. All right, like to call this meeting to order at 2:29 p.m. Friday, November the 13th, 2020. If I can get a first.
I motion.
Thank you, Sophia.
I second.
Alexandra, thank you. And then do a roll call vote. And if you can just mute yourself, please. So Sophia, Emmanuel, I vote aye. Sophia Acevedo,
Here.
Anna Yang,
Here.
Shantiu,
Here.
Alexandra Ling,
Here.
Victor Corona.
Here.
Thank you. So I would like to make a motion to approve the agenda of November 13th, 2020. If there are any changes that you believe should be made, please state them now. If I can get a first.
Oh,
to
sorry.
approve.
I motion. Sorry.
Thank
I
you.
second.
I second.
Okay, I will be doing a roll call vote. Aye. Sophia Acevedo,
Here.
Annie Yang,
Here.
Shantiu,
Here.
Alexandra Ling,
Here.
Victor Corona.
Here.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to the approval of minutes for November the 6th, 2020. And I believe I didn't send them out. If you could help me out, Carrie, and just review if there's anything that you believe I should make any changes to.
So because did you send the minutes out to everybody? Has everyone had a chance to review the minutes?
No, I didn't send out the email. I was
Okay,
just
so
presenting them now for the first time.
My advice to you is then to make a motion to table this and send out the minutes to everybody because they should have a chance to look at it, not
Okay.
just when you show up near.
Okay, so I'd like to make a motion to distribute the minutes to you all.
You want to make a motion to table the minutes of November 6th, 2020.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to table the minutes of November the 6th, 2020. If I can get a first.
I motion.
I first. Or I second.
First by Sophia, second by Anna. Thank
And then
you.
let me actually introduce you to a new concept. When these are procedural events that we anticipate no issue, my recommendation is you do what the Board of Trustees does, which is if there are no objections to this motion, ask for, are there any objections? Are there any abstentions? Great, then that means this passes unanimously. And I'd only recommend you do this on transactional pieces such as approval of agenda and approval of minutes and adjournment, because generally those things are not going to be controversial and most folks are all going to vote affirmative.
Okay, thank you. So if there aren't any objections or any abstains.
So you got to give people a minute. Any objections? Any abstentions? Then you're good.
Okay, thank you. Motion passes unanimously. Okay, moving on to public comment. Let me check the YouTube stream. Okay, Kelly Lee says yay. Madam. If there are any other comments, I would like to move on to the next item of committee members' reports. Uh, don't have any reports at the moment. For myself, besides the next sustainability committee meeting will be this upcoming Monday at 8 a.m. And for advisor reports, do you have any reports, Carrie, you'd like to address?
None, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Moving on, there's no action items. Moving on to item 5, discussion items. Discussion about 2020-2021 AS Sustainability Committee goals. It is recommended that Sustainability Committee participates in the development of goals for the improvement of campus sustainability. And here, today I'm going to try to, if we can all, within the chat box, or if you want to say them out loud, I think it'd be best though if you could type them into your chat box. Any words that come up with potential goals or I guess objectives when it comes to sustainability, so that we could create this like word art and be able to then work from this visualization of what we envision sustainability at PCC. Okay. Is that it? I'm going to. Sorry, I'm inputting mine as well. Oh, I have that one on there. Justice. Okay, I'm going to, if that is it, I'm going to hit the visualization button and see what stands out more than the rest. So it might take a few seconds. So this idea, I got it from Kelly Lee, who was hosting the election watch party last Tuesday and on the 3rd. And I think it was very good to see students interacting, and definitely it was a simple way to, I guess, just address how they were feeling in that night. And sorry, the big words that appear here are the art cloud and word, but recycling facilities, I am going to print. I will be saving this, and I think this will be something that we're going to be able to use moving forward. And if there are any goals within these ideas, these words, I'd like to be able to take note of them. After I watch the recording, I will do the minutes, but we'd like to set some goals for the committee, whether they're, plans of action, whether they're norms, the way we speak to one another, just making sure that this is a safe space and that we hold each other accountable to the way we run these meetings. On the meetings and off the meetings as well. Feel free to unmute yourself.
Just one of the goals that I had, it's not like regarding I guess how we interact with each other, but it's just regarding one of the goals for the committee. I think that we should make it a priority to, for like community involvement. I noticed that on the STARS checklist, that's like a really big thing that they look for, whether it's like curriculum, research, campus engagement, public engagement. I just think that's sorry, people have the TV in the background, but I just think that's a big priority that we should make for our committee.
Thank you, Sophia. I appreciate it. You all are aware of the sustainability course on campus, correct? No? It's DT 110, and Professor Sandy Lee, she tends to give it around the afternoon, around 1 p.m. When we were on campus, that's what it was. I believe she's still teaching it this fall semester. I would encourage you all to check it out, reach out to her. Maybe it's also something I should do. I invite her and introduce her course. I think it's something that could benefit STARS. I know that the discussion within the Sustainability Committee, the shared governance, has been addressing curriculum that is informing students of how we can be more sustainable in our lifestyles, not just on campus, but we already have that going on at campus. So maybe, I guess, spreading it, sharing that information a bit more, and recording it through our meetings. Is there any other ideas, any other goals you would like to address?
I have one. Just kind of more of a personal one, more of an intrinsic goal that I think we should all try to strive for. But not only do we want to keep or strive towards accountability for our peers, but also ourselves, right? We want to try to be sustainable in our own lives. I know it's very difficult nowadays with the amount of plastic that is consumed in our lives and the lifestyle that we live, but it's important to at least try our best to live a lifestyle that we're in a way preaching, and like also educating ourselves continuously. Yeah, and continue to just learn and grow as people.
Thank you, Sean. Yeah, definitely. I guess live what we preach, for sure. You make a good point. Definitely. I think, that'll be with the development of events. I think one way that I've seen, that I've actually been speaking with Carrie this past week, is creating at least like a virtual workshop. It would be nice if we could be on campus, socially distanced. But one of the goals that I have is to inform students of how they can be sustainable, not just explaining the practice, so that we can kind of, encourage students, show them that they can be sustainable, say with something as simple as a grow box. So being able to grow your own produce is, I think for me, is the easiest way to not only be eco-friendly, but you're also increasing your economic growth. improving it. And at the end of the day, sustainability is about efficiency, doing what you can with what you have, in order to eliminate or reduce demand for the continuous production of items, whether it's plastics, whether it's metals, uh, rubbers. It can go on, and as long as we're able to keep stuff in house or locally, um, we reduce emissions, our carbon footprint, we save money, we also empower our communities by uh, sometimes we are attracted to the deals provided at big stores. I don't know, I think an example would be Walmart. For me and my family, that's an issue that I think I am constantly frustrated about. But you can only do so much in informing people, and it's really a personal choice to live a sustainable life. So if the deals are much cheaper at Walmart, and people are willing to drive further, because there isn't a nearby Walmart to where I live. I live in Altadena. The nearest one, I believe, is in Duarte. That's 13 miles away. From my house, it's roughly 15. And, I think that there is so many businesses that are troubled at the moment due to COVID. And I think, sustainability is definitely minimizing your traveling for any of these goods that you may rely on, you may need. But I get it. Sustainability also can be seen as a privilege. And, sometimes these deals is the only thing that we have. But step one is informing people of how much of a great impact you can do if you stay locally. If there are any other goals, please unmute yourself and let me know, or type it into the chat box. And if not, then I will
Emmanuel?
follow. Yes.
One thing I might suggest, because I think I heard some folks say that, it's about make sure that we're living the way that we want to be, and that we're in examples. What can be very effective and something that can be done is you can have an IG takeover of the AS account, and folks can document the choices, the small choices that they make and you can set this up in your life. You can either do one of two things. There's this woman on YouTube, and she collected all of the non-recyclable waste that she had. And it's like fits into a pill bottle. So one, I would say, if you really want, I think that would be a fun thing for you to challenge. And it's okay if it's messed up the first, because this is the thing. Why don't you, because this is the reality. People don't want to change their lives. It's hard. So why don't we talk about, hey, this is me, this is my journey. I'm starting it now. And this is how much waste I generated in a week or one day. And then you continually, and you do these little posts. You simply say, you know what? And you talk about small ways that people can make changes in their lives. Because when people think sustainability, they think, oh my God, I got to get rid of plastics. I got to do this. I got to do everything all at once. And they think that's pretty damn bleak, right? But maybe you say, listen, instead of paper towels to wipe your table down, why don't you get a handy rag, right? And you could get these reusable rags, and you can say, change one thing. And maybe that could be the campaign, is challenge people, change one thing in your life, change 5 things in your life. But I think if you really want to kind of follow through with living your own word, maybe someone volunteers to say, listen, I will keep track of all the non-recyclable trash that I generate and post it every day. And then you just have this conversation, and then you can talk about what's one thing that I did that will cut this waste in half. Whether it's food waste, maybe it's making sure I don't buy more food than I need, or cooking what I eat, or whether it's the decision to not go out and get a plastic. My decision is as much as I love yogurt, and I only buy yogurt in a glass container, which is that god awful expensive wee stuff, right? But it comes in a glass container because all the other yogurt comes in plastic. And I don't want to generate plastic. Or if I'm generating plastic, I am reusing that plastic to the very last end, or I'm making sure that I can recycle it. But nowadays, recycling plastic doesn't seem to be a good idea because China doesn't take it anymore.
Right.
So, that's just one thing. And I've made that decision. I no longer buy plastic bottles of orange juice. I'll buy the carton, or I'll buy a carton of milk as opposed to the plastic jug.
Right.
So these are little things that folks can do that change their lives. So maybe, if you're thinking about one thing you can do, and I really am going to push you all to do one public IG campaign before the semester's out, because I think folks need to see it. And honestly, you need to do one activity. Once you have one activity under your belt, you're like, oh, we can do it. It's all this nerve until you get to it. Can we do it? Can we do it? Is this right? Is this wrong? Are people going to hate us? And once you do it, people either ignore you, which is probably what happens, or they love it. Okay? 90% of the people will ignore you, but the 10% of people that you reach is amazing. So think about stuff like that. It doesn't have to be huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that idea. I feel like when people think about sustainability, they get overwhelmed. Like, I have to live a zero waste life, but that's not true, right? We could start small. Like, even in today's, maybe a really trendy thing nowadays is thrift shopping or getting a water bottle that isn't plastic anymore. Like, there are really small ways that you can make a change that we can definitely inspire and push our community to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also agree. The idea is really good. And I especially like it because I feel like you could like create a challenge. Like, let's say we're all doing this challenge together. And then once you feel a sense of community when you're doing that challenge and you're all documenting it together, then you feel more compelled to talk about it, to share it, to like promote it on a deeper level, as opposed to just being like, oh, here is all the trash that I consumed this week. Okay, bye. And then like that's just it. Like, it would be
Exactly.
it's like more fun, and then they also hold ourselves accountable as well.
Yeah, this kind of reminds me of like a project I did in high school where the teacher like told us to collect our trash in that week, and then all carrying that that plastic bag the whole day. Like, we're carrying our trash like that we collected for that week. And then so it really makes me think about like how much trash I produce, and mostly plastic, and how we can avoid these plastic by like purchasing, even though like you can't find like these glass jars of stuff at the store. There are also a lot of like, I guess some plastics are multi-purpose. So say like a plastic container for yogurt, you can use that to store like seeds or like some other dry goods. Like, there's many like ways you can use like that sort of plastic, and it just goes to show that there are many ways you can like, I guess, be sustainable as like an individual. So yeah, that's.
Yeah, for me, I really agree with Carrie that one of the most challenging things is starting on it. I've been involved with the Green Lancer Club at PCC, and we've been having like meetings and some challenges. And then I could definitely agree that the most difficult part is kind of like getting the consensus and then us like agreeing with it. But then like when you do it, like we become more invested in it. And then also on top of that, we kind of create a community with in PCC that's involved with sustainability. So I'm really interested with that idea that Carrie proposed.
So maybe I suggest that you talk about collecting your non-recyclable waste for a week. And then you all get together, and then you can Instagram that. You can say, and you can inventory it. Say, these are the things: 9 plastic bottles, 1 shampoo bottle, things that can't be recycled, right? And then you say, these are the things that I collected as waste. And then maybe each of you come up with one idea to say, how could I replace that? How could I take that out of the waste stream? And taking it out of the waste stream can also be that you're using like those little yogurt cups. You can use them to propagate plants, right? Your egg cartons, you can use that to propagate plants. Or you could use it to store things in, right? And the big thing to me is like the paper towels, my dries, my family. I don't know. Back in the day before we had all this shit, we always used to use, like, there was dish rags and you wiped your table and you with a dish rag and you washed it and reused it and you just, and now we're all about the paper towel. And I keep talking to my mom, remember when we didn't have this stuff, right? So go for the low hanging fruit, the easy stuff that people will embrace. Like, hey, yeah, you know what? I can get a rag and I can wash it with, after I use it. And after we use it, we just wash it with soap in the dish soap and set it out to dry, and it's sanitary again to use again. Right? So go for low hanging fruit. And what you can do is actually, if you want to get people to participate, you can buy out of your account. So we bought, folks, you can buy reusable straws, bamboo toothbrushes, right? Because those toothbrushes, and we can talk about maybe buying other things that are sustainable, right? Maybe you want to buy folks dish rags. Maybe you want to buy folks that toothpaste that you bite into it, so it doesn't, so we don't have the tubes, right? I recently started switching to tablets. You drop the tablets in your hand soap pump thing. So I don't buy a new plastic one, but I buy the tablet, add water, and wow, look, I've got a whole new bottle of soap. So we can buy stuff like that, and you can give it out to anyone who participates.
Thank you, Carrie. Definitely great ideas, you all. I've taken note. I will definitely take more notes after listening to the meeting on YouTube, the recording. I would definitely love to, would you all be willing to maybe start this challenge next week? I would like to say design anything and like, I guess, a flyer, reaching out to our public relations VP, Philly, and see if he can help design a flyer to encourage students, challenge them, and see if we can get this ball rolling. I definitely believe it will be effective just based on our communication during this meeting. I appreciate your participation. And yeah, this is pretty exciting. I thank you, Carrie, for definitely sparking that conversation. It's great. So if that is it, I would like to move on to the next item, just keeping an eye on the time. Would you recommend, Carrie, what would you recommend with 4 minutes left? I know you have to get out here at 3.
I would say I can go until my phone call comes in. So I'm just expecting a phone call meeting, so I can go until my phone call comes in, but I definitely probably want to be off here by 3:15. Is everyone good to stay until 3:15, or do folks have to leave at 3?
I would like to also end it at 3, just because, and I apologize, I have a interview with another applicant for this committee at 3 p.m.
Okay, then all you do is simply say we're going to make a motion to table items 5B and C. And so just make that motion, and then you can just go on and finish your agenda.
Thank you. So I'd like to motion to table discussion items B and C to our next meeting. If I could please get a first.
First.
Thank you.
Second.
Second by Alexandra. Thank you. All right. If I could get a roll call vote, please unmute yourself. And first, Sophia Acevedo.
Here.
Anna Yang.
Here.
Sean Seal.
Here.
Alexandra Ling.
Here.
Victor Corona.
Here.
Thank you. Let's see if there's any more public comment. Moving on agenda item. We do not. Okay. Advisors' comments. Do you have any comments, Carrie?
No. Oh, just so you know, just like for form's sake, whenever you're taking a vote and he calls your name, you only say here when he's doing roll call votes. When when you're voting on something, give us a yes or a no, please.
Sorry, I didn't notice that.
That's okay.
Thank you. So no comments then, you said?
Nope, that's it.
Thank you. For announcements, does anyone have any announcements they'd like to make? I have, let me see. I would like to, can I request Victor to tell me a bit more about, so I want to pull up an email that was sent out from the Green Lancer Club, Sustainability Club, for your upcoming event regarding Biden's administration and his address to climate change. I think it's something I would like to encourage students to visit, if you may.
So we've been, I'm the vice president of Green Lancer Club, and then we've been contacted by the Courier of PCC for us to discuss kind of like Biden and then how he's going to probably be doing with the environmental issues and sustainability. The Courier has done an article on Green Lancer, but then for this article that you're specifically talking about, I think they're just asking for our comments about what we think about sustainability in relation to Biden. So it's not really like an event, but it's more kind of like us like talking about it and then for them to have a post on the Courier.
Thank you, Victor. Yeah, I apologize. I wanted to bring up the email. I just don't want to make sure there's no privacy issues. But thank you very much. I definitely do encourage you all to join the Green Lancer Sustainability Club's newsletter through the Lancer Life. You can access it through there to their external links. And I think that is it for announcements. For future meeting dates and times, the future meeting will be November the 20th, 2020. It'll be online, and I request that you please submit any agenda items you'd like placed on there by November 16th, 2020 at 12 p.m. Thank you.
Emmanuel, I have a question for the group.
Okay.
Is it possible, do folks have time available at 3 o'clock? If we were to shift the meeting to 3, only because I seem to keep having meetings at 2. If 3 is an option, I know it's late on Friday, and I apologize, but if Emmanuel, if that can be an explored option, I'd appreciate it.
Sean said it's okay with him, good with him. Yeah, I would definitely like to do so. I know that there may be an issue with my schedule every other Friday at 3 p.m. But if we can...
Well, Emmanuel, let's talk.
Yeah, if we can. Thank you for addressing that. And definitely I will make sure to have a further discussion on this. 3 p.m. And this you would like for every meeting, right? That would work best for you, Carrie?
Yeah, I'm wondering if we can, I wonder if we can have an odd schedule, because it seems like you have every other week, you have a meeting at 3, because it seems like every other week I have a meeting that, you and I are both in Cynthia's meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just left a vice president's meeting early, halfway through.
Sophia was there too.
Oh yeah. So maybe we need to go every other week, so that way we can do Cynthia's meeting.
Right. I think it's going to be on Thursdays for her moving forward.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, we can speak about it some more.
Okay, cool.
Thank you. So if that is all, then I would like to make a motion to adjourn our meeting at 3:02 on Friday, November 13th, 2020. If I can get a first, please.
First.
Second.
Thank you. And if there are no objections to adjourn, any abstentions? Okay, thank you. Motion passes unanimously. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you all. Let me